was.
Joining me now, Republican National Committee Chairman Reince Priebus. Mr. Chairman, thank you so much for being here. There's a shadow primary. So basically, I mean, this actually comes as news, I think, to a lot of people, which is, and it sheds a lot of light on Ted Cruz's belief that he can wrap up 1237 before he gets, to that first vote. And so the way he would need to do it, because he's probably not going to get 80% of the vote going forward, which is what he'd need, is to get these other delegates, like the delegates in Pennsylvania that aren't really bound. And you tell me whether he could also get Rubio and Kasich's delegates if those two guys got out, or at least Rubio's.
Well, certainly. I mean, it's sort of two different things going on. On one hand, you have the allocation of delegates, meaning when you win that state and candidate X gets 25 delegates, in most cases, those 25, no matter who they are, they could hate candidate X, but on one or two ballots, they're going to vote for candidate X. The same analysis is true for people who are unbound on the first ballot. So if a candidate is really, really close, they will have an opportunity, if there's a couple hundred unbound delegates on the first ballot, say Marco delegates or someone else's delegates, to then convince them to come on board on the first ballot.
Now already we're hearing complaints by the Trump camp that this election is going to be stolen from him. And we played the soundbite earlier of a longtime Donald Trump associate and former operative on his campaign, Roger Stone, who came out and said this, and he doubled down on it today. Listen.
If Trump does not run the table on the rest of the primaries and the caucuses, we're looking at a very, very narrow path in which the kingmakers go all out to cheat, to steal, and to snatch this nomination from the candidate who was overwhelmingly selected by the voters, which is why I have urged Trump supporters, come to Cleveland, march on Cleveland, join us in the Forest City. We're going to have protests, demonstrations. We will disclose the hotels and the room numbers of those delegates who are directly involved in the steal.
Your thoughts on that, Mr. Chairman?
Well, I mean, he's a smart person, but it's totally over the line. And we're going to have $50 million in security. We'll make sure that every delegate is safe. Here's the thing. A majority wins. A majority wins everywhere across this country. It's how our country was founded. It's what our founding fathers believed in. It was good enough for Abraham Lincoln. It's good enough in 2016. It's not a matter about well, who gets a plurality. It's about who gets a majority. You have to have a majority of delegates on the. And the delegates have the ultimate say, empowered by the voters in those states. So,
are you going to do anything to the rules if Trump or somebody else, for that matter, is 50 short or 100 short of 1237? Are you going to do anything to the rules to make it easier or harder for that person to get over the line?
I'm not going to do anything to either help or hurt anybody. I'm going to run an open, honest, and fair convention, and the delegates are going to decide, and the delegates, by majority, are going to make all the decisions that they need to make at the convention. It's the same thing we do every 4 years.
It's going to be an interesting July. It's great to see you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah. Thank you, Megan.